You are drowning in noise. You know you need to track your market and watch your competitors, but doom scrolling Twitter is not research. It's a waste of time. So I stopped reading and built this instead. It's an autonomous market intelligence analyst. It runs 24/7. It reads hundreds of articles a morning, filters out the junk, and uses AI agents to fact check the stories that matter. It turns that chaos into this: a clear strategic briefing, complete with a custom design, waiting in my inbox before I even wake up. I use this for myself to stay ahead of the market, but with one click you can send this to your team or publish it as a newsletter to thousands of subscribers. This isn't just a bot. It does the work of a $50,000 a year junior analyst. But this engine is basically free, never sleeps, and never misses a deadline. We're using nothing but free tools. We're running the workflow on the latest n8n 2.0 version. They've updated their security, performance, and UI a bit, like these lighting effects on the nodes. For the LLMs, we're using OpenAI, since they have cheap web search models and they offer a generous amount of free credits when you enable the share inputs and outputs option. You just need to make sure you're at least tier 1 by purchasing $5 in credits. This is perfect for our automation and allows us to run this system to an extent completely for free. For the web scraping, we're using a Waterfall Logic, first trying free methods. If those fail, we use this Apify website content crawler. And for the image generation, we're accessing the Seedream v4 model over Freepik, costing us nothing. I'm going to give you the blueprint for free in my builder's library linked below. But a warning, do not just grab the file until you watched the video till the end. This system has strict requirements. There are hidden settings inside these nodes. If you miss one configuration step, the logic will break and the engine will fail. So I'm going to show you the build, step by step. Let's get into it. Before we open the hood, you need to understand one thing. This engine comes empty. You need to give it a soul. I have structured the system around 3 specific configuration blocks I call the brand DNA. First is the strategy DNA. This tells the AI what to scrape and, more importantly, what to ignore. Second is the copy DNA. This controls the voice. Do you want it to sound like a professional news anchor or a casual friend? Third is the visual DNA. This controls the design. You define your colors and your aesthetic here. By simply changing these 3 blocks, you can completely repurpose this engine from a crypto trading bot to a marketing newsletter without touching a single line of code. Alright, now let's talk about the foundation. Before we touch the nodes, we need to set up the brain. You need to create 2 Google Sheets. First, create a source control sheet. This will tell our system what news you're looking for. In the first row, create 3 columns: keyword, RSS URL, and enabled. This is your control panel. It lets you turn feeds on or off just by typing yes or no. To get that URL, go to Google Alerts. Type your keyword. Under Options, set Deliver to as RSS feed. Open it up and copy that link and paste it into your sheet. Second, create a database sheet. This is the system's memory. It prevents the system from processing the same article twice. You'll need exactly these columns. Just copy them from the sheet in the free builders library. Alright, now let's look at the build. Phase 1 is for the intake. We start with a scheduled trigger. It runs daily at 7 AM to kick off our automation. This source control node connects to your first sheet to get the list of feeds. The RSS read grabs the links, titles, and content snippets of those articles. Next is the filtered date. It's a simple code to block old news or articles. Then we use a URL sanitizer to clean the link. If you don't do this, the duplicate checker will think the same website is 2 different pages. During your setup, right here after the sanitizer, drag in a limit node. Set it to keep 5 items. We do this so when you test the system for the first time, you process only the first few articles, not 50, saving you a lot of time and credits. Now the loop. We process articles one by one. If one fails at any point, the system catches it and moves to the next. We start with a duplicate check that looks at your database sheet. If the URL exists, we stop. We never pay to analyze the same story twice. Next is the relevance index. It reads just the headline and content snippet and scores it from 0 to 100 based on how relevant the article is to your brand. In the system prompt, you must paste in your strategy DNA. This tells the AI what topics you actually care about. During your setup, open this if node after the relevance check. Change the value from 49 to 0. We want to force the article through to the end to verify if the system works, even if the score is low. Alright, now we move on to phase 2, the scraper waterfall. First check, did the RSS feed provide the full text? If yes, we skip scraping. If not, we try the HTTP request. This mimics a browser. It's free and usually works. However, if the site blocks us, we call Apify, a platform for all sorts of scrapers that you can access for free since you get $5 in credits to play around. Create an account, go to your settings and grab your API key. Then in n8n, create a credential and paste in your Apify API token here. Your free credits will allow you to scrape around 300 articles a month without paying a cent. During your setup, run this once, get a result, and click Pin Data. This saves the result so you don't keep paying for scrapers while you build. And after the scraper, this if empty node checks if all the scrapers have failed. It detects empty text and loops back to the start. It keeps bad data out of your system. The standardized content node cleans up the text from all sources into one format. Now we move on to phase 3, the deep analysis. We have the full text. The gatekeeper now scores the quality. Open the prompt and paste in your strategy DNA here. It works similar to the relevance index, just that this agent has access to the full article text. And again here, in the if node, change it from 69 to 0. Again, we are lowering the gates for testing. The survivors go to the market analyst. This is an AI agent with a search tool connected. It reads the article, then searches Google to verify the facts or gather additional context. We then save this in Google Docs so you can share it with other agents to access this data for content creation or other purposes. Then we save everything in our Google Sheet for the system's memory. After all that, we're now at phase 4, the production studio. The loop is done. This aggregator code combines all the winning articles into one list. We feed this to the briefing LLM. This is our editor-in-chief, responsible for our daily market briefing. This agent's job is to create the title for our newsletter, the preview text, the actual content, and an image prompt for our header visual. Open the system prompt. You need to paste 3 things here: your strategy DNA, your copy DNA, and your visual DNA. This ensures the newsletter sounds just like you or your brand. Next, the image generation. It's optional, but a nice touch and completely free since we're using a Freepik API, and the $5 in free credits is more than enough for our use case. We access the latest C-Dream v4 model because it handles text and abstract concepts better than most. In the headers, add your Freepik API key. I've put a link for that in the description. We then use a simple status loop to wait for the image to finish rendering. Don't forget to also insert your Freepik API key in this node. We then upload that image to Google Drive. Crucial step, you must go into your Google Drive, create a folder, and set the permissions to anyone with the link. If you don't, the image won't show up in your email. Finally, phase 5, distribution. First, the Gmail draft. This sends a proof to your inbox. This is a human quality gate. You read the draft. If the AI hallucinated or the news is weak, you stop here. You don't approve it. If it looks good, the data moves to the kit payload, a simple code that formats our data into JSON that we can send to our newsletter provider. We use Kit because they have a generous free tier up to 10,000 subscribers. If you use a different provider, you just need to change the API endpoint and adapt the code so it outputs a valid JSON object for your service. Finally, the Kit API v4. For this node, you only need a generic credential. You just need to insert your Kit API key in the header. This pushes the draft to your dashboard. You could have it instantly send your broadcast to your whole newsletter. Still, I'd recommend only publishing it as a draft so you can do a final quality check before sharing. Once you see the draft in Kit, you're ready to go. Go back, delete the limit node, set your if thresholds back to 50 and 70, unpin your nodes, and flip the workflow to active. The system is now live. It is scraping, filtering, and drafting for you. The complete workflow is in the description. But if you want a deep dive written manual, SOPs, and community support to help you fix errors, that is inside the Creative Automation HQ. The link is below. If this video was helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.